yes, capacity is a thing, but work-life balance is a result of managing your capacity. So I just want to continue to encourage everybody, as you've already said, just because you see the whole thing doesn't mean it all has to be launched all at the same time.
You're listening to the Redefining Wealth podcast with Patrice Washington. This is a space where we truly believe in the mantra, chase purpose, not money. And that's because we believe in the original definition of wealth, not the one that says that wealth is just about money and material possessions. We believe in that 12th century definition of wealth that says it's about the condition of well-being. And so my goal as a coach to hundreds of women presently is that we understand that, yes, we want to build businesses and we want careers that are thriving, but we want to do it in a space that is holistic, in a way that is holistic, in a way that honors every part of who we are and who we are becoming. And I am so grateful that I have the opportunity to lead a community with such amazingly talented and brilliant women. It does my heart such good. It has been doing my heart well all week to hear the stories of women from different backgrounds and different ethnicities, and whether they're single or married or have children or don't desire to have children or working in corporate America or full-time entrepreneurship. All of this has been the same. It has been the pursuit of purpose, but it has also been about opening up your heart to truly have the capacity, right, to embrace and accept the purpose that has always been there. Many times people come to me, they find me, and they are looking for their purpose. And one of the first things you will learn about me as a coach is I don't believe that any of us has to look for our purpose. I believe that most of us refuse to embrace the purpose that has been under our nose the whole time. And I always tell the ladies in Purpose to Platform that you're not here for my validation. The one that called you has already validated you. So sometimes we get on calls and people ask me the same questions over and over again. And I have to say, are you really looking for an answer, or are you looking for my validation? Because you can validate yourself. You can anoint yourself to do that. You can choose yourself to do that. You don't need me. I am here to help guide you, yes, through a framework and help you lay a really strong foundation that you can build on top of at any time. But you don't need me day to day. And I think, honestly, any coach that makes you dependent on them, is the goal really for you to do the thing, or is the goal for you to always need them? I'll tell you right now, my goal is for you to go out and do the thing that God has called you to do, the thing that you have been purposed to do all along, but you refuse to accept. The thing that you were destined to do, but you allow people to put you in a box and seal it. And you know in your heart, in your spirit, you're called to do more and you're ready to bust out. But you want to bust out and do it authentically, and you want to do what feels right in your spirit. And I believe that that is a real thing, and that it doesn't have to look like it has looked for anyone else. One of the greatest joys that I have as a coach is looking at the clients who graduated 6 months ago and a year ago and 2 years ago, and now some people 3 years ago, and seeing how they have continued to thrive in the marketplace, seeing their partnerships and seeing them like be bold. I remember people who were quiet, who wouldn't turn their mic on, who wouldn't turn their camera on, and now they're doing Facebook Lives. I remember people who wouldn't speak up, and now they have podcasts. I remember people who talked about having book ideas for years, and then they got it done in less than 12 weeks. Like to see how so many people have evolved. When I tell you as a coach, that is the goal, that is the dream, that is the vision, I tell you no lies. And all week, you've really been hearing from people who were graduates of the most recent cohort of Purpose to Platform. But in the same week, I had an opportunity to go on the podcast of one of my P2P stars. And you heard her name mentioned earlier this week because Doreen Ellis talked about Coach Nicole, who supported her while she was in the Creator for Purpose Challenge. Well, Coach Nicole at that time was a recent graduate of P2P. And now she is a super duper alumni. And I had a chance to be her guest for her anniversary episode of her podcast. And as I was listening to her interview me, the Flourish podcast, as I was listening to her interview me, I'm sitting here thinking, like, I have seen her come such a long way. I used to fight with her about owning her voice and like doing, just taking the next best step, all those things. And this episode is actually going to air on her podcast later this month, but she's allowing me to use a snippet because I need you to hear her heart, her voice, and how much she has done since her time in P2P, because it speaks to the fact that Purpose to Platform is about setting a strong foundation. But things are going to evolve because purpose evolves. But will you give yourself the capacity, or will you allow yourself to experience the capacity for that evolution? And Nicole Rhone is such a beautiful example of this. So we're just going to share a snippet, and then I'm going to make sure that we link to her podcast so you can follow her and check out the full episode. Here's Nicole Rhone.
Yay, Patrice.
Nicole!
I don't even know where to start other than just saying I'm so grateful to have you here, because I tell you all the time, like, I would not be where I'm at. I would not have a podcast, any of those things without you. So having you here is like the highlight of my life.
Oh my gosh. I am so proud of you. And I have to say, I believe you probably would have found your way to this because it was already calling you. I think I just was a part of the pushing, like a little push, a little tug, to bring you on along. And I think to also introduce you to community, like, to introduce you to folks who will become your lifelong sisters, I hope, and in addition to your amazing, family you already have. But, sometimes our family doesn't always have the capacity to help us get to what's next. So we have to go find our family. And many of us have found it in online spaces. And I don't even remember how you found me. I'm just glad that you did.
Listen, everybody in my house knows you, first of all. My husband is on the road today, but he knew I was excited, getting ready for today. And this morning he's like, tell Patrice that Chef Rhone says hello. I'm like, okay, y'all, on a first name basis, sir. You know her like that. Now he's like, yeah, that's our girl.
Yeah, so, go way back.
Oh, goodness. I actually found you on the Steve Harvey show. So way back, OG, triple OG.
You're OG.
Official, right? And just listening in as you were trying to help us all get our money together, do all those different things. And then as you transitioned over to the podcast, and then I didn't even realize you were coaching, like actively helping other people coach and get in that space, to full circle coming and being a part of not only P2P, Purpose to Platform, but Command the Stage, and now being in the Redefining Wealth community and all of those spaces. And you mentioned earlier the community piece, right? And for me, that has been absolutely what I needed, to the point where one of my fellow P2P sisters is actually a bridesmaid in my upcoming 10-year renewal.
What?
Listen, in March. Look. So
that makes me so happy, Nicole. I can't tell you how happy that makes me, because I remember for so long I did everything as a lone ranger,
Mhm.
right? I would come up with an idea, flush it out by myself, talk myself in, talk myself out, right?
Mhm.
Like beat myself up if things didn't go the way I wanted it to. I did everything by myself until I finally had the revelation that greatness is not created in isolation.
Mhm.
Like we need people. People are required. And for many of us who, some people may identify as an introvert, or some people just identify as like, oh, I'm the strong one. So people come to me, I don't go to them. That was one for me. Like any
Mhm.
number of things. But I've just realized, especially over the last, I would say, decade and a half or so, that people want to support you. They really do. Growing up in households where you hear like, don't tell people your business, you better keep
Listen.
people out of stuff, that keeps us trapped. That keeps us playing small, and that keeps us so stagnant because we will allow ourselves to be stuck. But when you have a sister girl,
Mm.
right, who knows your capacity, and you've told her the vision, you've told her the dream, and she can pull you out of those moments, you can get so further along, right? Quicker, sooner, faster.
Yeah.
And my vision for a Purpose to Platform, for Command the Stage, for this entire Redefining Wealth movement has been that people find their people. That people
Listen.
find their people. And you don't need a million people. You just person. And if you can come into this community and find your person, right, it's amazing how, whether your person was someone who lived down the street from you and y'all never knew it, because I see that a lot in
Mhm.
Redefining Wealth. It's like, you live on what corner? Oh, well, wait a minute, right? You might have been walking by this person every day, not knowing that you guys had similar values and similar hearts, and that you
Mhm.
could support each other. Or if your person is across the globe, because we have that too. We have people who are prayer partners that
Yep.
still, from the US to Africa are connected. And it just blows my mind with one yes, with a kicking and screaming yes, because my yes was not out of complete obedience. Let's be clear. My
Yes.
yes was like, God, I mean, you sure, sure?
Send
I mean, it's me.
me
Like,
another sign.
I need a rainbow with three pigeons to go across and form a heart-shaped loop before I, right? Like,
Yes.
and I want to say too that even in not being fully obedient, there was still impact. So I don't take
Mhm.
away from that. There were amazing things that happened, and I believe that purpose evolves.
Mhm.
And that was the 1.0 or 2.0 version of me, but we get to evolve and continue to elevate, just like you're seeing in your career. Every year I'm watching you do new things and add other stuff, right? I
Yeah.
remember when you were launching a podcast, right? So like there's all these things that continue to come, but that was what brought me to Redefining Wealth. It's still that bathroom floor moment because the seeds for Redefining Wealth were planted there. I
Mhm.
don't think I had the confidence yet or the clarity to really communicate it to the world. So I took the piece that I could run with. And I'm saying that because someone needs to hear.
Yes.
The whole thing is not going to make sense, right? We learn looking back, you're like, "Oh, I've been known that." But you're not always ready, right? Like
Not for the full thing. It's
not
baby
for the
steps.
full thing. It's baby steps. Yeah. So Redefining Wealth has been baby steps, and it was absolutely the best thing I could have possibly done for myself, and I believe my audience, was for me to tell
Mhm.
the truth about what I really saw wealth as, and that was the 6 pillars. It was never just talking about budgets or credit reports.
Mhm. Oh, Patrice, it just, that in and of itself was the reason I stuck with you throughout your transition as your purpose has evolved. And for me, you've been the one to say it's okay to trust your gut. It's okay to choose your health, whether that's mentally, emotionally, physically, all of those different things. I can remember working in a job and hearing you talk about crying before you were going in. And I was in the same space. Yes. And was
Yes,
like,
girl.
what am I supposed to do? Now, I had gotten some downloads before then, but I was partially obedient. Like, God, I'm gonna just continue to collect this paycheck because the way my bills are set up.
The way my
But
checking and my savings
right, I
is
got a
set
checking
up.
and I got a savings. So what I'm gonna need you to do, God, yeah, me telling God what I needed him to do, right?
Uh-huh.
But it ended up in a situation where God started making things very difficult in my life as well. And seeing you step out on that faith, seeing you walk towards your purpose and watching you transform so many other people's lives, I'm like, I gotta see what she's doing over here. Cause I feel like you telling me that I need to do something like that. And I'm just grateful that you have been obedient and that you continue to be obedient. And even as you talk about, the seeds that were planted and taking that very first step, and you know this because of us working together. When I first came into Purpose to Platform, I was talking about work-life balance, right? Because that's what I was comfortable with. Yes, that's part of what, I do as a capacity coach. But because of watching you and listening to you and going through all the things that you've taught me, I fully stepped into this capacity thing, right? Where, yes, capacity is a thing, but work-life balance is a result of managing your capacity. So I just want to continue to encourage everybody, as you've already said, just because you see the whole thing doesn't mean it all has to be launched all at the same time, and giving yourself that permission to do a piece at a time until you have that clarity, until you have that confidence, until you are able to even clearly communicate it. Because, I was like, what do I do? What am I guess?
What's up, OG listeners and purpose chasers? Guess what time it is? It is Purpose Challenge time. Every year I like to, really take this chase purpose, not money, to the next level by teaching you live in real time for 5 nights all of the things that have helped me evolve and go from literally scraping up change to embracing my purpose and building a thriving platform. And I'm going to teach you because I want you to chase purpose, not money. Right now, go to thepurposechallenge.com and get signed up. We begin on Sunday, March 27th, and it is going to be incredible. Everyone who's been through a challenge, I'm telling you, literally their minds are blown because of how much is really given and how supportive the community is. This is about chains breaking. This is about you getting clarity. This is about you being empowered to take your next best step so that you can literally chase purpose, not money. So join me starting March 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm also going to be doing tons of giveaways, and the only way that you can enter for the giveaway is to be registered for the challenge. And trust me, engagement pays, so you want to come on over. Come to thepurposechallenge.com. I can't wait to serve you. I am so excited, and I hope that you're excited too, to finally embrace your purpose and take it to the next level. I'll see you there.
I'm sorry.
And you remember every week I'd be like, now, Nicole,
what we not gonna do?
What we not gonna do when you get on this Q&A is ask me what you asked me last week. No, that's what we not gonna do.
With love, right? With love.
With love, because what did I keep telling you? It's gonna become more clear as you just move forward. It's not gonna become clear as we chat about it every week. You have to do it. And then as you do it and you see the impact that you have on other people, then you get the confirmation and the conviction. Oh, wait, no, I help people build capacity. Let me stop this, right? But we have to be in the doing to actually receive that download that this is the thing. You don't get it by just thinking about it. I've never, I mean, even the work that we've done in Purpose to Platform now, you were in a couple years ago, but there's been several cohorts since you. And so with every cohort, I'm learning. I'm looking for like what's really working. What do I need to add? What would support even more? What would help people get to clarity faster? How can I get them building sisterhood and community even faster? And I think when you were in, it's like, it feels like instant, but girl, these recent cohorts, on day one, they're like, sister such and such. I'm like, oh, boom. Okay, boom, we in here, right? So it comes in the doing. It comes in the testing and tweaking and trying and putting it out there. And I think that's for our protection, because if we truly could see what the entire thing was going to look like, we would be afraid and run away
immediately. Like, oh, so you want me to do that? I'm good.
We'd be like, oh no, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, we would totally run away. So we have to be okay with the fact that it evolves, and it's okay to pivot, and it's okay to recognize, you know, there's nothing wrong with having this big vision because you get to dream in color. Dreaming is free, right? Nothing wrong with
Mhm.
having a huge vision, but don't let it prevent you from taking action on the 1.0 version of your dream.
Mm.
I just keep telling people this because we get stuck in these cycles of confusion and overthinking and overwhelming ourselves.
Mhm.
And I mean, big companies change logos, big companies change colors. I was just telling my team the other day, I was like, Lay's potato chip. Remember when they had those mocha chips and they were trying all kind of,
Yes,
they had a
all the
coffee
things.
flavored chip and they were right. These huge companies are testing things on us all the time. And yet we have something that God has called us to do, and we're up here, behind, like trying to stay behind the scenes, quote unquote, perfecting it. When it's like, no, they're out there testing things, throwing things against the wall, seeing how it works.
Like that spaghetti, right?
Like
Does
that,
it
like,
stick? Does it
does
not?
that stick? Does it not? Does it feel good for me? Does it fit my personality? Does it fit my lifestyle? Do I want to do all of those things? We get to try and do and test and tweak, and that's why I get so excited when I see y'all doing different things. It's not a
Yeah.
matter if you do that thing forever. It's what are the lessons that you're learning about yourself, but about the marketplace and about your ideal client and all those things. And then how can you take that information and apply it to the next iteration of what you're doing? And as long as we stay curious that way, I think it keeps it fun, because entrepreneurship ain't no punk.
Let me tell you something, ma'am. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for just a year.
Yes.
Just a year, right? And I can't tell you how many times I've been like, let me put this resume on Indeed. Let me go on this interview, because let me tell you something. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot.
But what keeps me grounded in what I'm doing is the purpose. You see, I've been waiting for a long time to wear this shirt, girl,
I
for
know. I know. We
a
got
good
to get it.
reason.
Wait. Me.
I've been waiting since I purchased it last year for the right occasion to wear it, right? And today I popped off the tag. I'm like, I'm going to wear it today because
Oh my gosh.
I promise you. Um, but what keeps me in this entrepreneur space is the fact that I'm chasing this purpose, right? And really being able to do what God has told me to do, what He's put on my heart. I understand now that, yes, although my dreams might be in this whole, colored, all these big budgets and all of these things, I got to operate within, my black and white space, my budget, those
Mm-hmm.
sorts of things. But that doesn't stop it. And part of that is continuing to surround yourself with people like you said, and like you do, it that pour into you, that snatch your edges when they need to be snatched, and then gently lay them back down for you at the same time. Here go a scarf, baby. Take it, lay your edges
Little
back down,
swoop.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know for you, who is it, what is it, that has influenced you to be able to have the confidence to be able to be who you are today? Like
Mm.
I've mentioned, P2P changed my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Command the Stage, the podcast, like the
Mm-hmm.
books. I don't think you realize just about every book that you suggested on the podcast, I went and bought and read and then was sharing to other people.
Yeah, game
Um,
changers.
Very much game changer. So, what kinds of people, books, and things have had that level of impact that caused you to say, you know what? I'm going to go for this, despite what it may look like, as crazy as it sounds or seems. I'm about to do this.
I am so proud. I'm so glad I got to share that with you. And shout out to Nicole. I am so proud. I feel like a proud mama, big sister, auntie, cousin, whatever you want to call it, of Nicole and of so many of the graduates of P2P. And again, what I love the most is seeing the time go by, but not seeing the lessons leave, not seeing that authenticity leave them. Like many of them still understanding that progress beats perfection, that they're bold, they're more confident, they're more radiant, like they're literally standing in their power. That is what I love to see, and that is why purpose to platform means so much to me. It means so much to me, and I am so excited that these doors are open again. And I remember when I used to limit purpose to platform to 25 people. And then I was like, okay, I'll let 50 people in. But when I see and hear and experience the evolution of these women, and I see how their lives are transformed, I knew that I couldn't just keep limiting it to small groups of people like that, because the juice is in the community and the partnerships that are built and the sisterhood and the tribe and how we rally around each other and encourage and support. And how selfish of me to think early on that it was about me. It's really not. Because when those 12 weeks are over, right? And even during the 12 weeks, while I'm still actively doing television and I'm still actively speaking on stages and I'm still actively a brand influencer and I'm still actively a mom and I'm doing all these things, what's left is the community and how everyone comes together to support each other, because from day one, we promote sisterhood. And so, if you know that you've been out there as a lone ranger, and if you know that you're not looking for full-time entrepreneurship tomorrow, but you know you are working towards something and it is in your belly, it's in your spirit, and you see it for your future, again, I want to invite you to Purpose to Platform. It is a 12-week business incubator for purpose-driven, emerging and evolving, because we have women at every level, right? Entrepreneurs who know that they want to build more income and impact and influence in the marketplace, but they want to do it authentically and they want to do it with integrity. That's what our community represents. It is such a phenomenal space. And I can get into how many modules and I can get into the times that we do things and all that, but really, what does that any of that matter? Are you committed to the idea that you were born on purpose, with purpose, for purpose? And do you believe that this is your time to stop straddling the fence and get clear about what you were called to do? If you believe that that's you, if you've listened to these women all week, if you've participated in the Creative for Purpose Challenge, I'm inviting you to stop going back and forth and stop trying to pray about things 97 times, looking for pigeons to fly above and hold a banner that says, hey, it's you. And I want you to know that you are here even on purpose, with purpose, for purpose. You didn't stumble upon this podcast. You didn't stumble upon this particular episode. You didn't just run across this on YouTube. You were divinely led here because you are finally ready to create the capacity for your purpose to explode to levels that you didn't even know were possible. And I really believe that even when you're uncertain or you're not sure, but you're really leaning in this direction, I believe that's because your soul knows what you need. Even when your personality, the physical part of you, is unclear, your soul is like, we need to head in that direction. Take me there. I say this with every cohort of P2P. Every person who was in that space was divinely led there for such a time as this. And I truly believe that. And I believe that if this is really speaking to you and everything that I've talked about this week has really been speaking to you, then we're your tribe. We're your people. And I want to welcome you home, because trust me when I tell you, if you give us 12 weeks, your life will become barely recognizable. One of the things that Shabria said to me in our talk, I don't know if it was recorded or not, and I know Sandy said it, I should have taken a picture when I first began. Another one of my students, Marsha Ann in Jamaica, actually always says this: tell people to take a picture of themselves at the beginning of P2P, because by the end, they will not recognize themselves. And every day I hear from people who say, my spouse said, who are you? Like, you are radiant right now. Who are you? We have people whose children are grown who are like, Mom, I am so proud of you for doing something like this for yourself. We have people who were not getting raises or promotions. They were being overlooked at work. And because of the confidence that was built through P2P, they are being seen and noticed and recognized in their workplace like never before. Listen, I don't know what you feel led to do in this season. I don't know what brought you here. Well, I know what brought you here, but I don't know what means you went through to get here. But I know that you're not here by happenstance. I believe that in my heart of hearts. And I feel something so special about this next cohort of P2P. I am in a different season in my life. And one thing my community knows is that as I learn, you learn. As I grow, you grow. Because I'm always committed to sharing the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever parts of what I have going on. If there is a lesson that can be gleaned, you get it too. And this is beyond the pre recorded modules that exist. When I am live each and every week, whatever I am learning in this season, I truly always believe that it's also for the benefit of everyone connected to me. And so if you're in a season where things are difficult, where you are transitioning, where you may have to dream a new dream and think about your life in a new way and unattach yourself from labels that you have had for years, and you are ready to be free and to be seen for the fullness of who you are and what you have to offer this world, I'm in the same place. And as I learn and as I grow and as I dissect all the things that are happening in this season, my commitment to you is that I will share any and everything that I can, fully and transparently. That's what we do in our communities. You probably heard some of the ladies talk about Friday, Cry Day, because it gets real. But every cohort has something just magical, like something so divine that is a part of their experience. And I want to invite you to be a part of this current one. So all of the information, all of the details about what I teach and who's involved and all that great stuff, frequently asked questions, you can get that at purpose2platform.com. Purpose2platform.com. But besides what days are coaching and when do you go live and all of that, I want you to get past the logistics and lean into your heart. What do you truly feel led to do? If you feel led to be here, then I want to be your coach, and I want to support you, and I want to surround you with one of the most amazing communities you will ever experience in your life. So join me. The doors for Purpose to Platform close April 1st, and they will be closed until 2023. So I hope that you will, with decisive energy, take some decisive action, especially if you have been contemplating this for a long time. This is your time. This is it. So come join us. Until next time. Next week, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. But until then, I want you to go live your life's purpose, find fulfillment, and earn more without ever chasing money. Talk to you later.